Keith, another question here. When laity contact us, they often have questions related to the property and the assets of their local church. And if their local church decides to join with a new global Methodist church, how do you think that new denomination will handle local church buildings and assets? Will those assets essentially be owned by the new denomination, kind of like many people in the church are familiar with, or will local churches retain ownership at the local church level?
Sure. As you mentioned, most people are aware that churches that are part of the United Methodist Church, their real property and personal property are subject to a trust clause that says that the local church holds that property in trust for the United Methodist Church, which prevents local churches from doing whatever they want with that property or withdrawing from the United Methodist Church with their property without having to navigate that trust clause. Well, churches which separate from the church and that align with the new church that we'll be launching will be released from the trust clause of the United Methodist Church as a result of the legislation which the protocol has produced. Those churches will own their property outright as part of the new denomination. It won't be subject to the sort of trust clause that the United Methodist Church has. Churches which align with the new denomination will continue to be liable for payments to fund the United Methodist Church's pension plans that they're part of right now, that will continue to exist, and pastors who have served those churches will receive benefits from those pension plans into the future. And so those benefits have to be funded by our existing churches. We anticipate that the new church will have a lien on property, not a trust, but that lien will be solely for the purpose of ensuring the payment of any unfunded pension liabilities should a church later decide to exit the new denomination. This is obviously important for the continued funding of the pension plans and to ensure that the liabilities of a particular church are not left with other churches. But the good news is that local churches will own their property outright. They'll be able to make important decisions about their property as local churches, and they won't be subject to a trust clause like we have in the United Methodist Church.